Last time we set Lisa up with everything she needed to start mountain biking. She now has a bike, a helmet, a hydration pack, gloves, and a multi-tool. She also has a floor pump and a rack to transport her bike with. As Lisa progresses, we'll be looking at all this stuff in more detail, but today we're going to focus on the two things you need most to get on the trails: a bike and a helmet. Even if you don't have your own bike, even if you plan on renting a bike, I still recommend you get your own helmet, because wearing someone else's helmet kind of freaks me out. Lisa is wearing a Cali Protectives Chakra, which would be considered a general-purpose mountain biking helmet. It's lightweight, has good ventilation, fits securely, and looks cool, which are all things you might spend a couple of extra dollars on. Really cheap helmets are usually bulky, uncomfortable, and poorly ventilated, and that's no fun. The Chakra, like most bike helmets, is single impact, so it's only made to protect your head once. If your helmet gets impacted, it should be replaced, even if the damage isn't visible. In my experience, shoes wear out before helmets do, so don't cheap out on a helmet just because you might need to replace it. Even a real good one is under $50. For the rest of this video, we'll be talking about bikes. Specifically, what should you look for in a good beginner bike? Well, the 4 itties, of course. The 4 itties are affordability, reliability, serviceability, and simplicity. To find a bike with all 4 itties, you can go to a bike shop, search online, and even buy used. Rather than tell you exactly what to get and where to get it from, I'd rather help you understand what to look for so you can choose a bike on your own. I'll be using Lisa's bike as an example because I chose it specifically for these reasons. At around $650, the hook is of pretty good value. In the last video, I mentioned that this is a hardtail, meaning it only has a suspension fork. This as opposed to a full suspension bike that squishes down in the rear as well. While full suspension bikes are great, they're also a lot more complex than hardtails. This complexity adds cost, weight, and additional maintenance, so only go this route if you're comfortable spending some extra money. Figure on at least $500 for a trail-worthy hardtail, and at least $1,200 for a full suspension. These are just guidelines, and I stress that the first itty might be different for different people. Let's take a look at some other characteristics of Lisa's bike. First of all, it has disc brakes, as opposed to rim brakes. Disc brakes are virtually maintenance-free, besides changing the pads, and they'll stop the bike even when it's covered in dirt and mud. These are activated by cable, but more expensive bikes use hydraulic fluid. While hydraulic is better, any disc brake is better than a rim brake, on mountain bikes at least. Moving on, you can see that Lisa's wheels have quick-release levers, which make removal of the wheels possible without tools. More expensive bikes come with a very similar-looking through axle. On the other hand, if a mountain bike wheel is held on with nuts, you are looking at an extreme cost-cutting measure, which will make the bike difficult to maintain and next to impossible to upgrade. Aside from specialty bikes like dirt jumpers, you want a mountain bike with levers on the axles. The next thing to look for is a threadless headset, which you can identify by the pinch bolts on the stem. All modern mountain bike parts are made to fit this design, so servicing and upgrading a bike with a threadless headset is easy and affordable. On the other hand, you may see bikes with this older design, known as a threaded headset, or quill stem. This was fine in the 80s when replacement parts were available, but today it's simply a cost-cutting measure that will leave you high and dry in terms of upgrades. Moving on, we can see that Lisa has a shifter on the right side of her handlebars, which controls this derailleur at the back. This allows her to gear down for more power or gear up for more speed. I've taught a lot of beginners to ride, and most of them suffer from what I call shift anxiety. Shift anxiety is the reluctance that beginners have to shifting gears. To them, shifting only results in irreversible clicking noises that never go away. Funny, Lisa has been shifting gears since day one. It's second nature to her. That's because she's riding a bike with a 1x. A 1x is a drivetrain with only one shifter. This is a 1x8. My bike has a 1x11. This one switch operates everything. Just push it with your thumb to climb hills and tap the smaller switch to go faster again. That's it. Here's an older bike from 2003, which is actually pretty sweet. You can see here that it has a 3x system, which means it has 3 gears up front in addition to the ones in the back. This is fine, and it actually provides more range, but like I said, it causes confusion for beginners. Go the simple route and spend the money on a 1x. It may have less range, but at least you'll use it. It's also lighter, quieter, and more reliable. What you'll notice is today's cheap bikes always come with 3xs. It's hard to believe that the cheapest bikes come with the most gears, but there are reasons for that which we won't get into. Sometimes less is more. So that's it for today. Because I know you have a lot of questions, there's a printout in the video description with some bullet points for choosing a beginner mountain bike. Since the last video, Lisa's actually been out on the trails. She even took her first spill.
Whoa! Ooh. You alright?
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
First wreck. So what do you think you did wrong there?
I needed a little more momentum, and then I saw the rock and got...
Momentum is the right answer. Pedal, 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 pedal. Like it was nothing.
Lisa is starting to get the hang of things, and in the next video, we'll go for a ride with her and explore some of the challenges she's needed to overcome as a total beginner. We'll talk about what your first ride might be like and how to find a good trail to start out on. Until then, thanks for riding with me today, and I'll see you next time.
Oh, dude! Yeah. Dude, you're supposed to follow his line. Well, you slammed the brake. You did the same thing I did on Porcupine Rim. Front brake. Yeah. You gotta just go. You gotta just go. All right. Full speed. I tried. Fast you can. No, you gotta go back up. I gotta go back up? Yeah, you gotta go back up.
Take the big line? I don't know about that.
No, because like if you go down the small line, you lose speed and it's hard.
Oh boy.
You got it.
Ah!
Like if you go through here, you're fine.
You got it. Oh. That's one line. That was perfect.